Hi, my name is Cameron Kern. I work for Venture Serve Ministries, and today I'm going to be teaching you a very useful outdoor skill, and that is how to pitch a tent. With me today I have my tent, my bedroll, my sleeping bag. We're not going to worry about those yet, but we'll get there. The tent that I have with me today is a standard dome-shaped tent. It sleeps 4 people. The main components of a tent are your poles, your tent, your RAINFLY, and your tent stakes. First thing you want to do when you're pitching a tent, look at the location you're pitching it in. And in the background you can notice that there is a tree that I'm pitching my tent near. Before you pitch your tent, you want to look up at the branches above you if you're pitching it under a tree or anything under an overhang or anything like that. Make sure nothing's going to fall on you in the middle of the night. Next thing you want to do when you're finding a location for your tent is check the grade of the land. Are you on a hill? Here it's relatively flat ground, so I'm not going to worry about that. But if you're on a hill and it rains in the middle of the night and your door is facing uphill, the rain will come over your door and get into your tent. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stakes. I'm going to go around to these corners. A lot of tents have these grommets where you can put your stake through and stake it down. Now the ground here today is pretty soft. It rained the other day, so I'm not worried about using a hammer. But if the ground's hard, you might need a hammer or might need to find a block of wood or something to help hammer your stakes into place. Just going to go around. I'm just going to stake the corners of my tent down. I'm going to make sure they're pulled out so my tent's not bunched up on itself. Just going to push the stakes in. Your tent is what gives your tent structure and support. Without the poles, your tent will not stand properly. And these tent poles, you can see in between these segments, there's this elastic cord. This just helps for when you fold your poles down to fit them into your tent bag. Next thing you want to do is figure out where your poles are going to go. A lot of tents have canvas tubes that you slide your poles through. This tent just has little hooks that your poles clip onto. You clip it in so it has its footing for later. Because I'm doing this by myself, I don't have anyone else to hold it in place, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in place before I put the tent up. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start working on assembling my next pole. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lay it over the tent. I'm going to go ahead and put it in place. And I'm going to start clipping the side that I put it in place in first to make it easier when I go to stand the tent up. Also, another thing about when you're setting and pitching up a tent, try not to walk on the tent with your shoes. You'll notice I'll get on my knees on the tent, but I'm not walking with my shoes on the tent, because when you walk on a tent with your shoes, you can start tearing up the fabric and putting holes in your tent, and that's not good. Hardest thing to do when pitching a tent by yourself, and that is getting the tent to stand. So you noticed earlier I went ahead and I put the pole in its place down there already. That way, it kind of has some structure to go with, so I can put it in its place here. And then same thing with the clips. I went ahead and clipped it so that the tent fabric itself has something to hold on to while you're standing the tent up. I'm going to go ahead and start putting on the RAINFLY. The RAINFLY is a very important part of the tent because this is what keeps you dry at night. Without a RAINFLY, you'll succumb to rain and morning dew. There's a lot of different designs for RAINFLYs, but this one seems pretty straightforward. It has clips like on a backpack that you just buckle together. Another thing that's important about a RAINFLY is to make sure you line up the doors of the RAINFLY with the doors of the tent. This tent has a door on the front and a door on the back side. Next thing you're going to do is just drape your RAINFLY over your tent. Make sure your corners are lined up. Now that you have your tarp situated in the right place, you're going to go ahead and start buckling your corners down. We'll worry about tying those corners down in just a second. We're just going to go ahead and secure our RAINFLY. Our RAINFLY is secured to all the corners. We're going to go through and make sure those straps are tight. The tighter your RAINFLY is, the drier the inside will stay. Now that we got our RAINFLY on, we want to make sure that we stake it away from our tent. That way it creates a nice place where water can come and flow down, instead of having your RAINFLY right up against your door where your door is going to get wet. So I'm going to go grab my secondary stakes and we're going to stake this RAINFLY down. Now that I got my stakes, I'm going to go ahead and stake them to the ground and tie my RAINFLY to my stakes. It's really important to really drive your RAINFLY stakes into the ground because your RAINFLY is going to get the most wind. Make sure you're staking it as far away from your tent as possible so you have a really good tight RAINFLY. So now that I know this is about as far as I can go, I'm just going to go ahead and stake this one down with the RAINFLY on it. Nice. Now before I get in this tent and call it a night, just have a last few little things to say. One, during the day when you're not in your tent, make sure your tent door stays closed and your tarp stays closed as well. This will keep your tent dry and it'll keep critters from getting in your tent, like raccoons, snakes, and other bugs and stuff. And then one last thing to do before you crawl into your tent is to be sure to take your shoes off. That way when you get in your tent, you're not tearing up your tent floor. Now that everything's set up, all I gotta do is take my shoes off, crawl in my tent, and shut the doors.